Yes, hello, I'm Manuel, I'm the founder of IPAPA, and it's very interesting to have the panel like this because I was so glad to meet every one of the panel participants before on the way on our startup journey. So, but a bit back, like how does an idea evolve? Like how did we come up with the idea for IPAPA? So, in school, I was really bad in mathematics. Yeah, so really struggling, and also in my class there were some people struggling, and we didn't know why we were struggling, because some people kind of got it from the start. They had this intuitive understanding how to think abstract, and I think by the time as everyone would do it, I just thought, okay, I'm too dumb for that, for math and physics, and I will go in another direction. And so I gave up on that, and I just survived school, just learning the concepts by heart, as some people do. So you survive school, and then you go in another direction. But at one point during my studies, I was studying economics, and before in high school, I was thinking, like, why is there not a way for everyone to understand math and physics? So why can't I understand it? And then I thought, okay, let's start first learning. That's the first step, right? So you have to be open to a new idea. The new idea was, maybe there is a way. And I started to just doing my homework, hiring a tutor, and then reading the standard textbooks. But it didn't help. Like, the grades go up a little bit, but the deeper understanding, so you have a completely new problem, and you can immediately, or at least at some point, solve it because you understood the whole concepts behind it. So then I began to study. I had in the first semester, a professor was at the business school, and he was a mathematician, and he studied at Oxford. I thought that's a good way to start, because he gave us such hard problems, and I was thinking, okay, that's the level that is required, and I'm here. Yeah, so I had a good motivation. Again, I survived learning by heart, but it didn't help, and I was very frustrated. And then I changed to economics, to a bachelor in economics, and during that time I was thinking, if no textbook works, why don't I go back to the history? So I started going back to the history, and I read a lot of books about the history of mathematics. And when you go deeper and deeper and deeper, interestingly, it gets easier. Of course, in the history, like, there's not so much math compared to today. And when you go back, so we are here, it's very interesting because downstairs is the room of the philosophical colloquium. So I'm still a matriculated master's student in philosophy, not so active at the moment because of the startup, but in general, in philosophy and mathematics, when you go back 2,000 years ago, I know that some postdocs are also here, or postgraduates. So there, mathematics and philosophy are very close. And this was the key. So when you, for example, read Euclid, the elements, there the mathematician formulates like some concepts very verbally. So just with words, not with like strange symbols that no one understands, or at least I didn't. And there also you stumble at one point about on Plato. And Plato says, math exists in a different world. And this was the first time where I thought, okay, interesting. So the feeling that I had was that math is crazy, or physics. And this was the point where I thought, okay, this is true. Like, it's very different compared to the other subjects. And yeah, so I had this insight, and I could then intuitively think about mathematics. And this is also the two-word approach that we have and incorporate into our product. So we kind of visualize abstract thinking. We make it clear what is the symbol and what is the concept, and how can you think about the mathematical concept if you don't have this intuitive thinking. So I came in economics, I graduated, and I thought, okay, wow, it's so fascinating, mathematics and also philosophy. Is there something more, especially in philosophy? So I started another bachelor in mathematics and philosophy in Munich and then in Oldenburg. And then during that time, I thought, okay, maybe this concept, maybe this idea, I can teach it to other people. And I started with my first student. I was very nervous. Yeah, I was super nervous because a former mathematics dummy with like a F in mathematics continuous throughout high school, how can I teach someone? Yeah, but I did it. So this is also what Julius said. It's a one. I think I would add one characteristic. It's about courage. And I talked with now Ambreen and Franziska sitting here in the front row of our team. Yesterday, we had just had a discussion with Franziska because Franziska said, Manuel, I'm embarrassed to speak in public. I cannot sit on a panel. I cannot do that. And I said, Franziska, we have to embarrass ourselves to death. And this is where we grow. Yeah? So this is the first sign is to have the courage to embarrass yourself to death. And then I had my first student, and I taught him as I understood it. And surprisingly, in the first lesson, he really grasped something. And I was surprised, because it worked. And I taught him for 3 years. He was really bad, like below even my level. And he graduated then from school with a very good grade. And so then I thought, okay, we should go on. We should develop this idea, and that's why we founded IPAPA. So we first, with Katharina, I was in the co-working space at Humboldt Innovation. Like this was even before I had something serious in mind, just to explore with other founders some ideas. And then we ran into Lydia Tetzner, also of Science and Startups, and she said, Manuel, this is a good idea. You have 2 months to find a team, apply, and then we will see, maybe you will get accepted. So I was going on LinkedIn and also to startup fairs and trying to find the right people. And this is very difficult within 2 months. So this was not a recommendation. So you should know the people before, like maybe 6 months, 1 month, 1 year or so. This is much better. Yeah. So because we had just a group of people coming together from all over the world, no idea of entrepreneurship, and everyone had a different understanding of how to work. Yeah. Some people say, okay, it's 9 to 5, we will found a company, but that's not the case at all. Yeah. If you think like that, this will not work. I never met someone like this, at least. And so it was very difficult for us. We won the scholarship, which was fantastic, but it also gave us a false security for some months, I would say. We had the security, we have the monthly income, but we didn't know how to proceed, and everyone had a different understanding. So we needed coaching after 3 weeks. After 3 weeks, a coach came in because the team was falling apart. Yeah, but it was also big learning. So we had to work together, and then also kind of naturally, one after the other said, okay, Manuel, this is not for me. Yeah, so I'm not an entrepreneur. Yeah, so they stepped out, and then after some time, this is also interesting. If you grow as an entrepreneur, also the right people will come into the team, but not before. So if you are not willing to grow, if you're not willing to make the sacrifices, then no one is coming in. One last sentence would be, try it, do it, and then see if it's for you. And if not, it's also okay, but try it and have the courage to innovate.